Hi, it's Mitch from pickdogs.com and sportschatplace.com. Doing it up this morning. It is daylight savings time, and you know what that means. It's 4:30 in the morning my time. I've been up for an hour already. I'm way crabopotamus, so we'll see what happens, man. Mostly throw it to these other guys drinking coffee intravenously. I don't know. Pretty crazy day in college hoops yesterday. We kind of saw it all. You know, we expect to see it all at this time of year. And, you know, it's just tough sledding. Right out of the gate, the dogs, I'm sitting here in the dark. That didn't help him. The dogs start off barking. I hit that 3-team moneyline dog parlay birdcage right out of the gate. Steve Monahan still thinks Marquette's going to win that game. It's not, just not developing.
Okay.
Man. All right, so I know we got some good NHL games because I posted them up. I know the Blackhawks. What is it? Blackhawks Red Wings or something? Blackhawks something.
Yep. Carolina, Pittsburgh, Tampa, Detroit, Vegas, Calgary, Blues, and Chicago.
That's it. The Blues in Chicago.
Yeah.
Those teams hate each other's guts, and Chicago generally plays the Blues very tough. Let's take a quick look at this stuff. Rod kind of taking over the host role there, but I'm fine with it. I'm good. Someone once said that I need to be the star of the show, or else I'm not happy. I don't think so, man. I just show up. It's like, believe me, if you guys wanted to tune in and you wanted a monkey here, put a monkey here, man. But for right now, I'm the monkey, so, it's whatever it takes.
Wait, we can have a monkey?
We can have a monkey. Whatever it takes, man. I don't care. We'll replace you with a monkey if we need to. Whatever it takes to get those viewers in.
That's an improvement at that point.
But a little bit of a different time change here. So we'll give everyone just a couple seconds to join us. Rod and Chris and Steve all lost an hour. I'm on the same hour, but it's like I had to get up an hour early. Is really what all that amounted to for me. But, just yesterday's card, Oregon, I think. We talk about our Final Fours all the time. I think I've got Oregon in mind now. I think I do.
Really?
Yeah. I like the Ducks. I think they're the best of the West. I think they could beat Gonzaga, too. Anyway, speaking of Gonzaga, Pittsburgh, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Detroit, St. Louis, Chicago, Calgary, Vegas, Anaheim. What is that? Oh, Minnesota Wild. Columbus at Canucks. And San Jose versus Colorado. Rod, I get like the Maui listings, on Facebook. I'm not sure how I got on like the classified ads for Maui, but someone is selling a birdcage for $55, and I said, man, if we gave Rod $55 for a birdcage, we'd be buying that person's real house by now. We would have just been playing $55 bird cages on just the picks on this show. Really, I think on this show for the last 3 weeks, I would say we've hit 5 to 6 bird cages a week minimum.
Yeah, at least a week.
At least.
We've been on fire.
I mean, I also had that money line round robin parlay yesterday, which hit 5 of the teams hit on the money line. Texas A&M also won with Kentucky, as well as their 3. The losers were Baylor.
Baylor.
Man, I'm kind of off Baylor right now, if you need to know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
they look trash.
Yeah, I'm a little off Baylor. It's like, I know it's senior day, and I know it's Morgantown, and I know all that stuff. And my best Morgantown story of all time is the one where the Hurricanes were playing West Virginia, and the Miami quarterback was Ryan. I can't remember even his name. It was the Ryan something era. He had 2 separated shoulders in both arms, so he couldn't throw at all. It's like they're out of quarterbacks, but he still had to play. They were losing 9-7 with 35 seconds left to go, and we had left the game because it was a bad one. It was a nasty night in Morgantown. They were throwing batteries and stuff, and that was back. I don't know if they still allow this in Morgantown. Anyone who's joining us from West Virginia will know the answer to this one. They used to let you leave the stadium at halftime and come back in. And I got to say, man, that third and fourth quarter were nastiness, man. You've never seen anything. I felt unsafe, actually. And I just think that, so we decided to leave the game and we went to a bar. And what happened was, with 38 seconds left to go, Tremaine Mack blocked a punt and ran it all the way in for a touchdown. The Canes ended up winning that game. And my friend Fido was on his knees in the bar screaming at the top of his lungs. We did it. And some guy about 6'20", he's just gigantic, one of the biggest people you ever see, like professional wrestler size. Just basically picks him up off the floor, stands him up on his feet, and he goes, I'm not really sure. He goes, I'm sure you're pretty excited, but if you don't get out of here, there's a good chance you're probably going to die tonight. And that was the last time I was ever in Morgantown. But so pretty tough crowd, I would say. They burn the couches, they do the whole thing there when they win. But still, I think Baylor, just didn't even show that they had the chops there to do it. So, yeah, I got a Fins hat too, Rod. I got a bunch of them I could wear. You could just wear NFL hats. Random NFL hats. But what do you think of these hockey games? Speaking of West Virginia, I like the Blackhawks here, plus 120 at the Madhouse on Madison. I do. I just think that they've played St. Louis pretty well, and they're hot. And I know St. Louis is hot coming in, but I don't know. I think it's just one of those things that they just traditionally have their number.
I got to see who's in that. If it's Bennington in that, I got to go with the Blues. If they put their backup in today, then I'll take Chicago.
Any chance the Red Wing knock off the Lightning here?
Of course, there's a chance. There's a good chance they could do it. Is Tampa Bay going to come in and actually try to win this game? I don't know. That's the way this Tampa's look. They win one, lose one, win one, lose one. I'm definitely not in a hurry to bet this one because I'm not betting Tampa at minus 115 for a 2-goal win. Eesh.
What else do you like on this? What else do you like on this card? How many games do you like?
I like 6 out of them.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I can go with 6.
How many?
I can go with 6 as well. I had a 7 I'm kind of iffy on, but...
All right, well, we'll talk about the iffy one. Rod, give us your first 3.
First 3. Give me Carolina at Pittsburgh. Still not sold on this Pittsburgh team. They're still looking like crap. The last win they've had in their last, 8 games is against... who did they play? Ottawa? They got a win over Ottawa? Ooh. Other than that, they've got 7 losses, 8 losses. Give me Carolina here on the money line. Beat Pittsburgh. Also, give me Calgary. I'm going to take Calgary. Vegas has been slumping a little bit. And give me Calgary as a home dog here over Vegas. And the Tampa game, you know what? I'm going to put half a unit on Detroit, just for Detroit money line, just for the value. I'm not laying minus 320 with Tampa.
Chris, what are you looking at here?
Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh in regulation at -110 against Carolina. I know Carolina picked up a win last time out, and Pittsburgh, yeah, their only win in their last 8 has been against Ottawa, but you got to sometimes find a time to just jump back on. And I think Pittsburgh needs to start picking up some steam with the playoffs right around the corner. I'll take a shot at Pittsburgh in regulation at -110. Yeah, I'm not betting -320 with the Lightning either. I'm gonna take a shot with Detroit +1.5 at -105. Detroit usually has a tendency to jump out in front and get a lead and then sort of watch it evaporate as the game goes on. So I'm gonna hope that they maybe get in front here, maybe hold the Lightning to a 2-1 or a 3-2 game, if not win it outright. I'm also going to take Calgary also at even money against Vegas. The home team's 9-0 in the last 9 head-to-head. So home ice definitely plays a factor in this one, and I think Calgary can catch Vegas sliding a little bit here. So I'll take Calgary at even money.
Rod, what are your last 3 here?
The last 3, like I said, Bennington's in that. Give me the Blues. Blues to beat the Blackhawks.
I'm taking the Hawks.
I'm gonna take the Wild over the Ducks. The Ducks haven't done anything, and yet the Wild did lose their last game to Kings, so they'll be ready to bounce back and get a win. Give me the Wild. I'm also going to take the Canucks. Give me the Canucks on the puck line. Columbus on the back-to-back. Just got beat by the Oilers. I also like the over 5.5 in that game. I think we're going to see some goals. I see like a 5-3 game. Give me the Canucks on the puck line. And the last one, the Avs at San Jose. Give me the Avs on the puck line. I think they easily beat San Jose by 2 or 3.
Someone here has a question, Rod. Who do you want the Dolphins to take in the first round? Screw me, I'm a season ticket holder, but Rod, who do you like?
We need a quarterback, for sure. We need somebody.
I'm on the Justin Herbert camp. He's got the highest upside.
Yeah, we need a quarterback.
I'm for sure. Anti-Tua. I'm just can only hope someone's going to trade him.
I know you are.
I hope you don't take
a lot higher than you think.
What's that?
It's going to go a lot higher than you think.
Oh, no, it's not. I know he's going to go high. I know he's going to be a bust. It's like, believe me, I knew Mitch Trubisky was going to go high, and I also knew he was going to be a bust. I knew Jared Goff was going to go high, and I knew he was going to be a bust. I knew Carson Wentz was going to go high, and I knew he was going to be a bust. It's like, and you can say, oh, these guys aren't busts, Then how come they can't win a freaking game? It's like, with the salaries that they make, if you're drafted number 1 overall, you got to be Peyton Manning. You got to be. If you're not Peyton Manning, you're a bust. If you're not Eli Manning, you're winning Super Bowls, you're a bust. I don't care. You're number 1 overall. You're Jamarcus Russell, you're no different.
Okay.
If you're going number 1 overall and you're a quarterback, you got to win, Jameis.
Famous Jameis.
Can't do it. I don't care. I know I know he's going to go high, but so did Todd Blackledge. I mean, it doesn't matter. And so did Ryan Leaf. And so did, it's like we can go on and on and on about these quarterbacks. Kyle Bowler went pretty high too. And so did Akili Smith, and so did Tim Couch. It's like we can go on and on and on about these guys that rate out at combines and, the eye test. I tell you what, give me that Alabama offensive line, Jerry Jeudy, Huggs, all these guys. You give me those guys, right? I'll tell you what, I could throw for 245 and probably go 11-1 right now at my age.
Probably.
Seriously, give me that. The running attack. It's like behind that line. Are you kidding me? And that defense, playing on a short field all day. I mean, my God, it's amazing.
Let's just do that. Let's just bomb one more year and take next year's.
It doesn't even. It's like. It's like. All I know is when Tua Tagovailoa plays against the big teams, he gets pushed around a lot. And it's like he gets hit, and he's one of those guys that gets hit and goes flying through the air. It's not like Kyler Murray, who actually was able to sidestep guys, which we saw in the NFL this year. Kind of more, Kyler Murray was a guy that surprised me a ton because I thought that he was a bad pick at number 1 too. I thought that it was good, but the more I saw him play, I see Russell Wilson. You know, I see a guy that can really avoid the hit and frustrate the hell out of people and throw the ball. I don't see Tua being able to avoid the hit and run. And guys, he throws a nice ball, but that's it. He can't run out of the pocket and avoid guys. He gets hit, he goes flying in the air. It's 8 yards. You know. Speaking of getting hit 8 yards, Chris, who you got?
Yeah, I'm on Minnesota as well. Minus 130 against Anaheim. I just think Minnesota bounces back here. Anaheim's not going anywhere fast, and Minnesota's the only team within sniffing distance of a playoff spot right now, so I'll take Minnesota at minus 130. I'm going to take Colorado in regulation at minus 105 against San Jose. I just think Colorado's the better team here and need to bounce back, so I'll take them against a hapless San Jose team. And I'll take Vancouver in regulation against Columbus. Columbus is just they're playing close games, but they still can't finish them, and a loss is a loss. So I mean, Vancouver's been playing well at home. I'll take Vancouver to get the job done in regulation.
That's it.
Yeah.
How about you, Rod? You done?
Yeah, we're done with the hockey.
All right, let's move on to the NBA. We got 11 games on the card today. I even forgot the Suns-Bucks video. It's so many going on. Got just some real crappy games out there, as well as some pretty good ones as well. The big one, of course, at the Staples Center. The Clippers are the home team in this one. The Lakers had the lead the first time they met. I think it was opening night, right? And then they played on Christmas, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and wasn't that the game where like LeBron James got hurt, and then it was like then the Clippers like just rolled them. I mean, it was just a stomping. I think the Clippers are a better team. I just think that they're a deeper team, and I think that while LeBron James and Anthony Davis are great players, it compromises the depth of the rest of the team, and the players that they traded to New Orleans, they could probably use. I like the Clippers in this one.
Yeah, me
What are
too.
you thinking?
Yeah, I think I'll go with the Clippers here. 2-point favorites. I think they're a better team outside of LeBron and AD, like you said. So it's a home game for all intents and purposes. I'll take the Clippers.
You know, Kawhi Leonard always seems to get up for the big games. I mean, this guy.
He's awesome.
And the thing is, like, you look at Toronto and how they're playing this year without him, and you say, wow, he really did have a good supporting cast. And, you know, he definitely has everywhere he's been. But, San Antonio had a good supporting cast too. But still, not only does he have a good supporting cast, he makes everyone around him even better, you know. And he definitely walks the walk, you know, in the big games, you know. I don't know. I just don't see how the Lakers hang. Rod, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm on the Clippers too. Give me the Clippers minus 2.5 here. Just like you said, Kawhi comes out for these games. He looks forward to these games to show, hey, I'm the best. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm the best.
He likes sticking it to LeBron, I think.
Yep. He's tired of hearing him. You're the king. I'm the king. No, you're not the king. I'm the king.
Still, I think I'm going to... Maybe I'll interview for that job of interviewing LeBron. It's any availability. Chris, how about you? What are you thinking in this one?
Yeah, I was trying to just check the injury report, make sure nobody else is on there, and it looks like the Clippers are going to be at full strength, and Clippers are dangerous when they're at full strength, so I'll take the Clippers as well, minus the 2.5.
Steve, who else are you looking at in the NBA today?
Well, the Pistons, Knicks, believe it or not. Pistons stink. The Knicks are really bad. And the Knicks are favored by 5.5. I think at the Garden. I'll take the Knicks, even though Spike Lee won't be there because the elevator,
Because he has to enter in with everybody else.
You can't use that door anymore. What?
I'll go with the Knicks, though. Two garbage teams.
Hey, Detroit covered yesterday. They covered the +8. Call me crazy, but they covered the +8.
Yep.
They did cover. The Jazz, that's kind of like the Jazz that we saw at the beginning of the season where they won a lot of games and didn't cover. Defense
Didn't
first.
cover.
That's how that happens. When they start raising those spreads into that 8, and then they lowered the Jazz spreads into that 3.5 to 5 range. And then they covered everything in sight. So we go back the other way. What are you looking at here, Rod, in the NBA?
I'm looking at, I like the Raptors here over the Kings. Give me the Raptors minus the 5.5.
I like the way the Raptors play like fundamentally sound basketball, and that's why they always take care of business against these lousy teams. Kind of the Tom Izzo theory, it's like rebound well, hit your free throws, make some good passes. You're probably going to win some games against the sloppy teams, and the Kings have been consistently sloppy.
I'm also going to take Brooklyn Nets. I'm not touching the Bulls. It's a crap team. Give me the Nets minus the 6.
Jason Moorhead has commented that Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he went to the Super Bowl when they spent about $600 million in free agency. That's when he went to the Super Bowl. When they let Ndamukong Suh and a couple of the other guys go from the team. Well, did you see Goff this season? Even Steve Monahan turned on him. He was.
I think the whole world's seen how golf. We all seen how golf made the Super Bowl. That was a BS call. That's what that was.
Well, I think also, you spend that much money in free agency, it's going to happen for you.
Yeah.
Chris, who you like in the NBA today?
I like the Pelicans laying the 7 against Minnesota. I don't like Minnesota at home. It's been one of my favorite fade plays all year.
Do you like them on the road? Do you like Minnesota on the road?
Nah.
It's like, this is a tough team to like because the way I look at this game and what I tried to say in the video, and I just got all tongue-tied, and I never edit these things, right? So it makes it really difficult. But it's like in the video, and for those of you that haven't seen it, I'm basically talking about the Pelicans versus Timberwolves game, and I'm like, it's like these are two like teams that kind of you would think would be mirror images of themselves because the Timberwolves are that team that had the number 1 overall pick a couple of times. It's like they traded, and they got other guys. So you would think like that they were ready and right at the cusp, like we thought they were at the beginning of the season. Meanwhile, they're like one of the worst teams in the league, probably praying to get that number 1 overall as well, so they can ruin someone else's career. And then the Pelicans on the other side of it traded away. Arguably the best player in the NBA and easily one of the top 5 in the NBA. And normally the team that gets Yager wins the trade, right? We've discussed this a million times. It's like whoever got the best of the trade is the guy who gets Yager. And certainly Anthony Davis was Yager in that trade. But it's kind of like those guys are coming together. And all of a sudden the Pelicans have this nice young core of players and a bunch of draft picks. It's like they're going to be good. They're going to be good fast. They're going to be better. Like the Sixers had the process. This is called the speed track process.
Speeding up the process.
Yeah, this is called speeding up the process. But anyways, I digress. Go ahead. I do a lot of digressing on this show.
I also like Indiana plus 6.5 against Dallas. I just think it just feels to me like too many points. This feels like a 3 or 4 point game at most. So I'll take a shot with Indiana here. And I'll also take OKC plus the 4 against Boston. Again, this is just a game I think just comes down to the wire, and I think OKC keeps it close. I don't know if they win it outright, but this could be a 2 point game as well. So I'll take OKC plus the 4 against Boston.
For me, it's like I got a bunch of premium picks, but I think the Heat here. This is almost a must-win game because they played themselves kind of back into a hole here. So I think them against the Wizards. I like the Thunder against the Celtics in this one. I do not like the way the Celtics are playing this thing. Today, these guys are going to play. Today they're not going to play. I mean, they were tough at home, and they're 18-12-1 against the number at home, but they're up against the Kings of the road, 22-8 against the number on the road, and the Thunder. I like the Thunder in this one. I like teams that are kind of like the underdog, and I think the Thunder have been an underdog team all season. I like the Pelicans as well, and what the hell? It's like this could be the day that even the Cavs win a game, but
I know, right? Look at the Cavs. Cavs won a game yesterday, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But I'll go Pelicans, Thunder, and Clippers. Birdcage.
I like Clippers, Raptors, Heat.
Birdcage.
Birdcage. Yeah.
I kind of like that one too. I like them both. It's fine. Double birdcage. One birdcage.
Birdcage.
Retweet.
Rod would have to do this birdcage. I would do this. We go to college hoops, and it's a small but strong schedule. The Big Ten closing out some games. Remember last year or 2 years ago when the Big Ten decided they had this brainstorm of an idea that instead of having their conference tournament the same week that all the other big conferences had it, we'll have it the week that the small conferences have it. And this was like the week of the Big Ten tournament. And then today was like the Big Ten tournament final. And then all their teams sat for like a week before the NCAA tournament. They were off for like 2 weeks. And they all got blown out in the first round. It was like, I think Buffalo Middle Tennessee beat Michigan State. It was like, we're never doing this again. It's like Giddy Pops is like reverse slamming on them and stuff. It was like, they're like, we're never, ever. It's like, whose idea was this? We're never doing this again. So the Big Ten has some good games today. Michigan, Maryland. Of course, the Wolverines, no one started the season better than they did. I thought, to me, if you could go back to the beginning of the season and kind of remember how things were in those out-of-conference tournaments, and you're starting to see some of these teams come full circle back to where they were. Michigan and Butler were the beasts in that out-of-conference early, and Gonzaga as well. But, here come the Wolverines once again. And, man, if you have them in your Final Four in your bracket, probably, they're probably going to get your money's worth at the very least of excitement. But here they are going into Maryland against the Terrapins team, 15-1 now at home, but just 3-6-1 against the number in their last 10, laying 4 points against a Michigan team, 7-3 straight up and against the number in their last 10 games. You've got Boston University and Bucknell. It's a big one. The winner of that one takes on the winner of Colgate Lafayette, and the winner of that one is going as probably a 15 or 16 seed in the NCAA tournament. You got the Gophers up against the Huskers, UCF, and East Carolina. Anything in these early matchups, Steve, that get you going?
I hate to take Maryland because Maryland's been burning me for the last couple of weeks, but the fact that they're home, I think they're a different team at home and worthy of a top 10 ranking. Michigan, to your point, who had a better start than Michigan, but going on the road to Maryland.
Baylor and Butler both did. But that's
Well,
those teams were all kind of in Oregon. We're all kind of in that same pool of they played everybody. They kind of all beat each other.
True. But I got to go with Maryland at home, like 4.5 against Michigan. I'm going to go with Maryland there. BU versus Bucknell. I'll go with BU over Bucknell. If they make the dance, it's they lose by 40 in the first round, but they make the dance. But I'll go with BU over Bucknell.
Rod, who do you like?
I'm looking at this Memphis and Houston. Memphis plus 8.5. I think that's too many points. Memphis already beat Houston once this year as a 2.5-point dog. Now you're going to get 8.5 points. Yeah, maybe in Houston, but give me Memphis plus the 8.5. I also like the under 135.5 in that game. Give me Michigan plus the 5. I have no faith in Maryland to cover this spread. I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan won this game outright the way they've been playing. Their last 8, they're 6-2 ATS. Their last 8. Give me Michigan plus 5 in that one. And give me Hofstra minus 8. I think they beat Drexel double digits today.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on a couple the same as well. I like Memphis plus. I got it at plus 9 against Houston. Just think side by side, they're a lot more similar than the line would suggest. And it's like Rod said, Memphis already beat Houston by 1 point earlier. So I think we could be in for another close game. So I'll take Memphis plus the 9. And I also like Hofstra minus 8 against Drexel. Well, Hofstra's just been one of the most consistent cover teams in the country, let alone the Colonial. So I think they win by double digits here. So I'll take Hofstra minus 8.
Got the rest of the card. Delaware, Charleston, Lipscomb, Liberty, East Tennessee, Western Carolina. A lot of it's a directional game. Always a little confusing. UConn, Tulane, Wichita, Tulsa, Michigan State, Ohio State, Chattanooga, Wofford. Wofford beating Furman in that matchup yesterday. It wasn't a great season for Wofford either. I thought Furman had a better year. Illinois versus Iowa. Oral Roberts versus Nebraska Omaha. And I don't know why I always find that Oral Roberts funny, name. It's like, even though I'm tired, I just still think it's funny. It's like, I don't know. It just gets a little giggle, It's like they're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's like, I don't know. Call me juvenile. I don't know.
When I was driving school bus, we had some bus drivers' names, man. Oh man, well, Southside Edmonton is known as it's like Little India, or something, because there's East Indians everywhere. And the one bus driver we had there, her name was Gag'em Deep. Literally,
no way.
Yes. And then we had Gag'em Deep and we had Man Deep. And I was like, really? Where do these names come from? That's their names. So you got Oral Roberts, Gag'em Deep. Like, what the?
It's just not good.
Every morning you hear this person sign in too, and I'm killing myself every morning.
Well, I always thought the South Carolina Oregon State game would really be a tough one for the announcers.
Oh,
that one could get ugly.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it was a mud game, like a real slop fest. It's just slippery out there. Man, this show is really sinking some lows today. Really sinking low. What do we got, Steve, in these afternoon showcase? I like the Spartans one. I do, against Ohio State. I know the Ohio State fans. Yesterday the two loudmouth fan bases both took it, pretty badly in my money line parlay. Texas A&M beat Arkansas and Kentucky beat Tennessee. And I got to say that the Kentucky-Tennessee game was a beauty. And, I lost that Butler-Xavier game, but, that's going to happen, man. It's like Butler's. I just never bet against Butler. I mean, Butler, I got to put him in my Final Four now.
You do.
Butler, Oregon, Seton Hall's out.
Yep. I'm going to go with Michigan State here, too. 7 points. Ohio State coming to Michigan State. It's that time of year for Michigan State to peak. Coach Izzo. I know it's 7 points, but I'm going to go with Michigan State here against Ohio State. And that's really the only game I like.
How about you, Rod?
I like Michigan State as well. Michigan State over Ohio State here. I also like. I think that's too many points. East Carolina and Central Florida. Give me East Carolina plus the 8.5. I think that's way too many points, and what I see is a 2-3 point game there. What else do I like? I like Liberty minus the 12. Liberty minus 12 over Lipscomb. Liberty's 13-3 in conference play. Their defense is holding teams to like 53 points a game, and Lipscomb's defense is not very good. Give me Liberty. Liberty gets the win and gets into the big dance. Give me Liberty minus the 12. Iowa at Illinois. Give me Iowa plus 3. I think they win this outright. Iowa's 4-1 ATS their last 5. They're 5-0 ATS their last 5 versus Illinois. Illinois their last 9. They're 3-6 ATS. You give me Iowa plus 3. What else is this? I also like UConn. UConn minus 6.5 over Tulane. UConn's 10-5 ATS their last 15. 7-1 straight up. Tulane's 2-11. Give me UConn minus the 6.5.
Sterling Straley just really hating my Carson Wentz hating in the commentary here. I talked about Wentz all season. He's part of the problem, and I'm sticking to it. This guy can't throw a 30-yard pass if his life depended on it, unless it's 3rd and 8. I'm telling you, this guy. It's like, and I'll tell you, it's like on 3rd and 8. He finds the receiver that's 6 yards downfield, and on 3rd and 1, he'll only throw to a receiver that's 40 yards downfield. And that's why the Eagles don't win. Not because of any of these injuries or anything like that, because trust me, every single player on an NFL roster, every single guy, except for, like, you know, maybe like when, what's the guy from Arkansas that was on the Patriots, the quarterback?
Ryan Mallett?
Yeah, except for him. Everyone is in the NFL, except for him, can play. Everybody. Him and Brock Osweiler. Like, everyone except for those two guys that's been in the NFL the last 10 years can play. Has the ability to get into a game in the NFL and have, like, a career game. And we've seen it. How many times over the history of the NFL has a guy come in and had, like, just this huge game, you know, just out of nowhere, and then we never hear from him again. All the time. I think Denver did it with running backs one season. Like, I mean, they had a guy that ran for like 200 in the first game. By the eighth game, he was out of the league. You know, and it's like we see it all the time. But if you have a quarterback that throws 6 yard curls, that's the receiver he finds open on 3rd and 8, and on 3rd and 1, he'll only throw the ball 40 yards downfield. You can't win. You can't win. Cannot win. And also, he has some kind of weird thing. It's like, you know, the way that, what's his name, Matt Schaub, the way that he throws pick sixes, Carson Wentz finds injuries. It's like he does, man. There's certain guys that just have certain things. It's like Carson Wentz, playoff game, injured. You know, Matt Schaub, it's like guy wide open. I don't know how it's a pick six. You know, it's like, it's unbelievable. It's like, he'll throw a perfect pass to a wide open receiver, and somehow it's a pick six. It's like it's unbelievable, you know. But it's just the way that it is. Anyways, speaking of Calvin Schiraldi, because I cut somebody off here. Calvin Schiraldi looked great on paper. Great on paper. He was on Roger Clemens' Texas team in college.
That's right. That is right. Spike Owen, too.
Losing pitcher of record, Game 6 and Game 7 of the '86 World Series.
I was present for Game 6, that's for sure.
Anyways, go ahead. I think Rod was either wrapping up or I cut him off.
No, I was done. I was wrapped up.
I love the way that, the quarterback gets all the credit. And that, it's like when he plays on a short field with a killer defense, it's like that doesn't mean anything, It's because of fantasy football, and it's because of like the way the NFL has marketed itself and the rule changes and everything like that. But even nowadays, a killer defense is way more important than any other position because it's like they don't allow you to play it. So it's like, it's like if you have a guy that can actually play defense, it's like, man, I mean, it's like the guy in the Patriots, the defensive back from South Carolina, Stephon
Gilmore.
What's his name?
Stephon Gilmore?
Yeah. I mean, he stinks. I mean, he's just a pass interference penalty waiting to happen. They just don't call it. And it's like all of a sudden he's godlike. It's like you want to see a guy that plays corner, man. You go see Mike Haynes. Dial it up on YouTube. You want to see cover corner, Darryl Green.
Yep.
I mean, when Darryl Green, didn't he run down Dickerson like from behind, like with a huge head start? It was like single-handedly took him down. It was like, that was unbelievable.
Darryl Green was the fastest guy in the league at one point.
I think at more than one point. I think at a lot of points he was the fastest guy in the league.
I think so too.
Wentz sucks. Chris, go ahead.
All right, the three I like here. I like Lafayette plus the 10.5 against Colgate. Lafayette's already beat Colgate twice this season. I know tournament time things can change, but if anything, I think it's an even tighter game than the two in the regular season were. So I'll take Lafayette plus the 10.5. I like UConn minus 6.5 against Tulane. This is just the time of year where UConn starts to turn it on, and we see UConn's dangerous in March, and they're no more dangerous than when they're starting to get momentum. So I'll take UConn minus 6.5. Finish the year on a 5-game winning streak. And I'll take Tulsa plus 7 against Wichita State. I'll put a little bit on Tulsa money line as well. They're still fighting for the regular season title in the American. To be the first conference regular season title since they joined the conference. So I'll take Tulsa plus 7 against Wichita State.
Steve, here's a question for you. Old school. The most consistent player in NBA history.
Who is the most consistent player in NBA history? That's a tough one.
I'll take Kareem for me.
Kareem is a good answer.
Love Kareem.
Oscar Robertson, Jerry West.
I'd say Oscar Robertson's up there.
Magic Johnson.
Kareem, Magic.
A lot of Lakers. Some guy named Michael Jordan. Bill Russell.
Bird.
Malone.
Dennis Johnson. Any of those guys.
Oh, I mean, I'm a Larry Bird guy, but I was just trying to scan the, the history in 100 years or whatever.
Yeah, I would say Michael Jordan has got to be, you got to have him in the discussion for sure. But I would say Kareem
Tim
too,
Duncan's
though.
a good one from Shane. I mean, Tim Duncan, the fundamental, big fundamental.
Because
damn good.
Kareem, to me, Kareem won everywhere he was. He played at more than just the Lakers. He was on the Bucks, and he won there too. It's like he won in Milwaukee, left. They were terrible.
Oscar Robertson.
In college, Kareem never lost. Never lost a game. Not even one game in college. In high school, same thing. It's like, I mean, that's consistent. He never lost even one game. I mean, can you imagine that? Like, Michael Jordan stays all 4 years. Carolina lost, when they had Jordan. They had a great team. I mean, it wasn't just Jordan. It was worthy. They had everyone on that team. It was stacked. Oh. And they still lost. The last undefeated, what was it, UNLV?
Indiana. 1976, wasn't it?
No, UNLV went undefeated after that.
Did they?
Yeah, the Larry Johnson team for sure did. Larry Johnson had Stacey Augman. They're loaded. Greg Anthony. They're stacked. But Kareem's UCLA teams are certainly the best ever. I mean, if you win every game for 7 years, man, I mean, as a program, that's insanity. All right. Everyone's saying I talk too much, so I'll stop talking. Just reading through these comments here. I'm not showing them, but I'm just reading them. Minnesota minus 16. Anyone against Nebraska? I like them. I did a video on that one.
I think you got to take that minus Minnesota. Nebraska. All I see is a bunch of 0-4s in front of their name. 0 for 10, 0 for 12.
I don't think Reggie Miller was all that consistent. I think he had big nights, real big nights.
Yeah,
It was always against the Knicks, but and the Celtics. You know, he had big games against them, but he wasn't like consistently like that. Bill Russell, super consistent. I mean, talk about titles. Kareem, Jordan, or Duncan. I think those are all good answers. Dennis Rodman. I think in his area of the game. Why not? I mean, he was always double-digit rebounds every single year. Karl Malone, the mailman, always delivers. Pistol Pete.
Mailman, that's a good one.
Pistol Pete.
Stockton was always there. I like, what's his name? Got to go with Canadian. What's his name?
Here's
Kevin
a good
Steve
list.
Nash.
But I would say of all of those players, LeBron is the one that is the least consistent of all of those. He's the most inconsistent, and he's the only one of those guys that would take a day off if he was given it. You know,
maybe not this year.
When we lived in Boston, Larry Bird was legendary, and one thing he was known for was being ridiculous amount of practice, and that Casey Jones was the coach of the Celtics, and he said if anyone can hit a shot from half court at the start of practice will be canceled today. Larry Bird picked up the ball, all net, first shot. Everybody else walked out. He stayed there and shot 1,000 free throws.
That's right.
It's like, you know, or like 500 free throws or something ridiculous. Hours. Like.
Thing about Larry Bird is when we were going to school in Boston at the time, we knew the greatness that we were witnessing. You know, you just appreciated. This guy is so unbelievable. It's ridiculous.
Everybody knew it.
Yep.
The UNLV squad or the Fab Five? UNLV.
UNLV.
The Tark team.
Indiana, they're saying, is the last undefeated 1976 team. I think UNLV lost one game that year, I think.
Maybe it was the other year that they lost to Duke that they were undefeated going in.
Yeah, Indiana was the last.
Right, 76.
24, 77. Yeah.
1976. Scott May and Kent Benson and on.
Robbie Benson?
Robbie Benson as Kent Benson.
Robbie Benson one-on-one.
What's his name? Henry something?
Classic.
Classically bad.
All right. I guess we're going to wrap it up here. Chris? Tell us how it is.
All right, we'll start on the ice. Like Pittsburgh in regulation, minus 110 against Carolina. Detroit plus 1.5, minus 105 against Tampa Bay. Calgary even money against Vegas. Minnesota minus 130 against Anaheim. Colorado in regulation, minus 105 against San Jose. And Vancouver in regulation at minus 105 against Columbus. My Birdcage, all to win in regulation. Pittsburgh, Colorado, and Vancouver. NBA, I like the Pelicans minus 7 against Minnesota. Clippers minus 2.5 against the Lakers. Indiana plus 6.5 against Dallas, and OKC plus 4 against Boston. A birdcage for the spread here. New Orleans, Indiana, OKC. And college hoops, I like Memphis plus 9 against Houston. Hofstra minus 8 against Drexel. Lafayette plus 10.5 against Colgate. Connecticut minus 6.5 against Tulane. And Tulsa plus 7 against Wichita State. And take those 5 games and parlay round robin them. So Memphis plus 9, Hofstra minus 8, Lafayette plus 10.5, UConn minus 6.5, and Tulsa plus 7.
Rod.
Start with the NHL. Give me Carolina money line over Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Detroit money line over Tampa. Calgary money line over Vegas. Looks like Binnington's going to start. Crawford's going to be in. Looks like Crawford's going to be in net for Chicago. Yuck. Blues puck line. I'm going to take Wild over the Ducks on the money line. Canucks on the puck line over Columbus. Avs on the line over San Jose. For me, puck line parlay, birdcage, Blues minus 1.5. NBA, the Clippers over the Lakers.
Fade out.
Okay, we'll go NHL, birdcage, all on the puck line. Blues minus 1.5, Canucks minus 1.5, Avs minus 1.5. NBA, I like the Clippers minus 2.5, Raptors minus 5.5, Nets minus 6, and the Heat minus 5. NBA birdcage for me, give me the Clippers minus 2.5, Raptors minus 5.5, Heat minus 5. College hoops, give me Liberty minus 12, Hofstra minus 8. I like Michigan plus 5, UConn minus 6.5. Michigan State minus 7. I like Iowa plus Memphis plus 8.5, and the under 135.5 in that game. College basketball birdcage, give me Michigan plus 5, Iowa plus 3, and Liberty minus 12. And NASCAR, give me Kyle Busch to win today's NASCAR race plus 300.
Well,
Kyle Busch is average. He loves this racetrack. He's got an average finish of 2.3 at this racetrack. He just loves this. No other racer better at this racetrack than Kyle Busch.
All right, Kyle Busch it is. Steve?
college hoops, I'll take Maryland at home, 4.5 points. I'll take Memphis against Houston, 9 plus 9. I got Michigan State plus 7 against, or laying 7 against Ohio State. I'm going to go with Illinois being home against Iowa, 3.5. I'll take BU over Bucknell. I like Tulsa, too, against Wichita State, plus 7. I like UConn versus Tulane, minus 6.5. I also like Lafayette, getting plus 10.5 against Colgate. And I would go with my college 3-team parlay, Lafayette plus 10.5, UConn minus 6.5, Tulsa plus 7. In the NBA, I'll take the Knicks at home, and I hate saying this, it's the Knicks we're talking about, against the Pistons, but the Knicks 5.5. I will also go with the Nets minus 6, Pelicans against the T-Wolves, New Orleans 6.5. I too will take the Clippers against the Lakers, minus 2. Thunder versus Celtics, I will go with the points, with the Thunder, plus 4. I also like the Heat against the Wizards, 5.5. The Mavs over the Pacers, minus 6.5. And I'll go with the Rockets over the Magic. My 3-team NBA, Clippers, Heat, and Pelicans. That's it.
I like the Clippers, Heat, and Pelicans as well. It's my 3-team birdcage. I'm also going to go with my college 3-team birdcage. Towson, Tulsa, Hofstra. Bring everyone back in. For the grand finale. Thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate you guys showing up every day. Crowd's getting bigger and bigger every week, which is pretty freaking amazing. Just mark it on your calendars. Next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be here for the bracket reveal show. Not allowed to show the TV or listen to the sound while we're doing the video, but I can read it to you exactly what's happening. And we'll also do some insight, as to who we think's going to advance and, what matchups look good and, who got screwed. Because we know one thing's for sure, when the NCAA is involved, someone's getting screwed. Indiana's lost yesterday. Is that enough to keep the Hoosiers out? They're going to find some excuse to get them in. You know damn well, right?
No, they better be out. That's a loaded garbage.
No, it's like this is the type of situation where they should be out, they get in, and then they beat somebody. It's like we've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
Let's see where they have them now. So they got Richmond out, Xavier out, Wichita State out. So Richmond is the team that I think should be in. This can't be updated because Indiana's in the last 4 in. So is Texas. They should be out.
That's updated yet for today. It'll update today sometime.
Arizona State and Marquette, last 4 buys.
And is that why Marquette lost? Because they already had a bye?
I don't know. Mississippi State is the next 4 out. I think Memphis can help themselves today if they can get that win in Houston. I really think Memphis has played pretty decent.
Didn't Mississippi State win yesterday? I thought so.
I don't know, man. I got a prop. Yeah, they did. They beat Ole Miss. They beat it badly. They covered. Looking over this tournament field, trying to see who doesn't belong. Tulsa in here as a 12 seed up against the 5 BYU. No, I could see them going. If they don't get the win today, I could see that being a problem for them. Also, a couple of these, there's going to be some upsets in these tournaments, where somebody's going to get in, but they're not getting in. We're going to start hearing about the. We're going to start hearing about Northern Iowa, how they should get in, and all kinds of stuff like that. It's all going to happen. We know it. We hear it every year. But anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. These guys really don't talk about their picks or lean. It's just casual sports talk. I don't know. How many picks did you give out today, Rod? About 50? How about you, Chris? I mean, yeah, we'll just come on here, unaccountably make a random comment and treat it as fact. That's really, that is the story of my internet, this career. This is what I've signed up for. And people ask me why I get irked, It's like, these guys don't really talk about their picks or lean. They're just casual sports talk.
Really? We didn't talk about any picks at all?
No. Not really. You didn't really talk about them.
No.
Yeah, I didn't give one out. I didn't give one out. Crap. Sorry.
No. Forget it. All the picks I gave out and all those YouTube videos I did as well.
Don't take the bait.
Yeah.
Forget about it. I talk about a lot of stuff that's not even sports. I know it. I get off topic easily get off topic. I like telling stories. I like hearing stories. I like telling stories. So, true story. My wife is like, because like when it's girls' weekend and the girls get together, they always talk. There's always like someone's doing this and there's it's like she has single friends still. They're dating this guy. And, they're doing this, and their daughter's doing this, and all this other stuff. It's like, what do you guys talk about? It's like, I think that Steve Monahan looks a little like Jim Belushi. It's like, well, we talked about that for about 6 or 7 hours. He's the dead ringer for
Good
Jim
stuff.
Belushi. And then our friend Rob Goldsmith. Is it James Woods or is it Robert Downey Jr.? Is it a little bit of both? Pretty deep stuff. On that note, have a great day, everyone. Enjoy the schedule. It's March. It's madness. I'm not sure what time tomorrow's show going to be. The ratings weren't out on Spread Knowledge. That's why I didn't do a computer pick show today. I'll see if they're there. If they're there, I'll come right back and I'll do a quick computer pick show. If not, we'll get back into it tomorrow. I'm adjusting to the time change. Our clocks didn't even change, so I'm adjusting for you guys. But I think this 10:30 time is going to have to work for us for the time being. It's rough on me. We'll see what happens. Have a great day, everyone.